Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. Before I post our discussion further uh, in this video, I want to give a small disclaimer, and that is the video is not as seamless as I wanted it to be. There were errors as I was trying to record my screen because we don't use the conventional uh, meeting apps. We don't record via those uh, apps, and I use a different tool for recording, but somehow that kind of backfired and I was not able to record in a flow. So, keeping that in mind, I hope you guys are able to make some sense of what we are actually talking about. And if not, I genuinely apologize. Please comment and ask us if you have any questions, and we'll be very happy to answer them. Thank you. The discussion is up ahead. All right, welcome all of you. I think you two and
Hey,
maybe even Tari is one person who actually completed the book. I think Pradnya also did, but I don't know if she will join or not. But hi Tari, there you are.
hi.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
All good, all good.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi.
I just want to let you know I've started the screen record, so that I can upload it later on YouTube. Were you able to finish the book?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did finish it, but I feel like maybe I should reread it. It was a
Yeah.
lot of information, and I don't feel like I got everything that I was supposed to get.
Yeah, I figured that you might find it a little difficult because there are a lot of references to Indian mythology in the book. So
Ye-
we can actually go through it. If you need help, we'll like help you out in this call itself. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
So let's begin. I want to begin by asking you guys, what fantasy book have you all admired all your life before you went into this one?
Yeah, so as I can see, we are celebrating Indian writers more in this book. So I have one Indian writer writing fantasy whom I admire is Ashwin Sanghi. So he writes a lot of good mythology plus thriller plus fantasy. All of it is covered in one book. So he is a very good writer. So I have read 2 to 3 of his books, like the Krishna Key or the Rosabelle Line. He speaks about different faiths and intertwines them into fiction and thriller. It's like a Dan Brown story right there, written by an Indian author. So he's very good like that.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I haven't read any like Indian fantasy per se, but I did read the Immortals of Melua. I don't know whether you can call it fantasy, but I enjoyed that one, and I wanted to read this Krishna Ki and all that, but I didn't know people who had actually read that. I needed someone to recommend it. You should have met before BP, before getting married. Now we are sister-in-laws, so we can, connect.
I actually
Yeah, so
have the
Aditya,
book. I have the Krishna key in my shelf, but it's just there in the shelf. I have to still read it.
it's good. You should read it. It's good. It's good.
You were saying something, Niti? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, so that's what I was saying that now. I mean, Aditya has recommended it now, so I'll read it. I wasn't sure how I will find it, so I'll read it now.
Nice. For me, I think it was always Harry Potter as a series.
Yeah.
Recently, I have gotten into. I read The Hobbit and I watched all the Lord of the Ring movies. I'm yet to read the books, but like the fantasy world, as a whole, if I have to
Did
speak
you see
about.
the Amazon series on it? No, that was
No,
also
I
good.
have.
On
I
the
want to
Lord
watch
of the
that.
Rings.
I want to watch that. That's on
It's
my
good. It's good.
list. And in Indian, like Neeti said, Amish, the trilogy of Shiva is what I have read
Yeah.
and adored completely. So I think that was my starting point to Indian mythological fantasy fiction. If I were to include that as a fantasy genre. But yeah, this was quite a different experience, and of course, we'll talk about it more. In the first place, it took me almost 100 pages to actually get hooked, and then it really picked up for me. So what was your experience like?
Yeah. Because there are so many characters. Just introducing them takes us so many pages, and the writing style is very descriptive. So that is why it is not over till 100 pages also. So then the introduction of the characters took that much time. So then once you get hooked, it's good like that. When once you understand the characters and the plot, then you can read it at least. You feel like reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same experience, and I really pushed myself in the first few pages. Okay. And in some parts, I actually skipped some of the, descriptions because I thought it was getting too much
Yeah.
and it was taking too long. So I just skipped those and went ahead. And then, but I liked the way, I mean, the world is built and everything. Just that it took too long because of all the descriptive way of writing, and also just the names, right? They were they were quite confusing to me at first because he has mixed things from here and there. Like some of it is from Indian mythology, some of it is from, I don't know, Greek, Roman. I don't know. He has mixed. So, what did you say? Sorry.
Chinese civilization is also there. All civilizations.
Everything is so I couldn't, because your brain is used to like, if you know that something is Indian, your brain is used to, okay, this is an Indian name, this is a English name, this is an American name, but here he has mixed it up. So my brain took some time to just process the names also.
I don't know. I didn't know what he's talking about. And then I realized, okay, it's mythology. They are animals. They are gods. They are what's this? The horses with the centuries or
Yeah.
things like that. So all those things, I'm not used to them. But I had to Google some of them actually to just see how it looks like because I couldn't imagine how it looks like. So I Googled a lot of them. And I also kept some notes because I kept getting lost on the on the plots. Like, where are we? Are we in Call? Are we in Avranti? So and then and also the names. Yes. Uh, at first, I thought I would Google the places, but I wasn't sure if the places are there.
No, places are not there. Places are made up.
They're not.
Okay.
Everything is made up.
It's made up. Okay, I see. I did keep a notebook though with the notes.
That
Wow.
was required.
And we should have also done that.
Yeah.
So the only thing that actually kept me going for those 100 or so pages was the humor. I felt it was quite subtle, but there were some places where he has used some great, what do you say, satire kind of a language. Was that something that you admired, or was that distracting for you guys?
Yeah, I think more or less I like the banter between Kiran and the female main character. So that kept me going. So that I found like you should still read. I should still give it the book benefit of doubt to the book. That's what kept me going.
I was actually just about to say that Kiran and what's her name? I forgot her name.
Maya.
Was it
What's her name?
start? Did it start with M? Maya. Yes.
Maya.
So that was really nice, their friendship. So that's why I could finish that part and go ahead.
And Neeti was reading, so I was like, I'll also read. I also want to join a discussion in which we read a part. So I kept on reading because Neeti was reading. We were pushing each other. You also read, I'll also read.
Yeah. So yeah, we do
Yes,
agree.
I also got that the humor. Even when they were meeting as the brotherhood, there was always some conversation that was funny.
That's correct. So, like we said, too many characters, too much happening just in the beginning of the book, and still, I somehow felt that, like, when we read other books, somehow when they tend to grab our attention, it's within the first 10 to 20 pages, right? Because we know, we kind of expect what is going to happen, but this is completely unexpected. We don't know anything about this world. He is literally building it as we read, and I think that is something that I thought I really liked later on, like when I got some time to sit with the book, and my thoughts, instead of very slowly bringing out the characters, where he was just like, okay, now this is happening, now this is happening, now this is the timeline, now the time, I mean, it was crazy, but I think that is what he wanted to achieve. Like, he wanted us to have that frustration, okay, what is happening, so that we continue, is the feeling that I got later.
But I think he should have started with Avaranti first. He actually started with the world where the actors are living and they are doing plays, and also that was very tangent to the whole main storyline. So he should have started with Avaranti, which he started in the second chapter. He should have started in the first chapter, because in the first chapter I was clueless what is happening.
It was very confusing. And the name, right? I was talking about the names, but if you see the names, they're like a word play. Like that island is called Bollywoodist, so it's like Bollywood.
Yeah.
So it's a play on words. So that's not just that one. The others also. It's a play on words. That's why it became even more confusing because I started connecting those names with.
The villain's name, the Dan Gem is the villain, so it is Danav kind of a thing. So he's doing that wordplay.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. That
This
connection
is very observant. Of Bollywood, I did not get the connection. Now I got it.
Because there are actors. I mean, just by reading the name, you will probably not realize, but there were actors and movies.
But I like that part where they are, filming through the jellyfish. So I like that technology was so supreme for me.
I got very confused. Like I couldn't imagine those things. Like Aditi said, he started with that. Maybe he shouldn't have. Couldn't imagine those things that he was describing. Like, how would you make a, I don't know, movie? How would you record that? It was something like a, camera or something, right? So I couldn't imagine it somehow. I'm not sure. Like, were you able to actually picture what it was?
Jellyfish was storing it in their memory or something. It was kind of that. Because that is the technology they were using, it seems, for shooting the film.
There were two, right? One was movie vision and one was television. Television's technique was something else.
And this is movie vision I'm talking of, the jellyfish thing.
Yes.
Which is again quite interesting. So now that we're
talking about creativity wise, it was very good. I mean, some concepts creativity wise were very good.
Yeah, so
Even using the baboons and monkeys as army in itself was
yeah.
something creative for me.
Did y'all at any point make connections with the Western fantasies that we already know of? Or did y'all
Yeah,
see it?
the movie is there, no, on apes. They rule the earth. That movie is there, no. So I connected with that when they, brought in the monkey soldiers and everything. So I connected with that apes movie.
Rise of the Planet of the
Rise
Apes,
of
right?
the
Yeah.
Apes. Yeah, yeah.
And then their obvious, reference like Harry Potter, like wizards, magic basically. Then there are dragons. So that's very much from like what we have already read.
It's a mixture of many fantasy concepts.
And Ramayana, of course, because there are Vanars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One mythology is also there. Even centaurs were there in Harry Potter also, so that has
Yeah.
also come from Harry. The origin of the Danjam's army, like the Storks putting the rocks in that climate, and then they are going to give birth in that climate and become that kind of a demon. So that is also somewhat Hobbit related, because that is there in the series of the Lord of the Rings on Prime. If you have seen anyone of you, they have seen.
I
Their
haven't.
birth is like that only.
There is a golem also, na, in the book somewhere.
Yeah,
Like
there's a
for a very
golem. Yeah.
small part.
Yeah. So
Yes.
when he gets his sword or something in that crypt, there that golem is there as a keeper of the sword or something.
Yeah, for me, the entire part of uh, getting back
Even
Danjem,
magic mirrors were there in
Harry
Harry
Potter.
Potter. So
Harry Potter.
I felt a lot of references to Harry Potter more because then getting back Danjem was like getting back Voldemort, and the five objects were like the
yeah.
Correct,
Horcruxes.
correct.
Horcruxes, yeah.
So it felt very much inspired. For me, I could relate more to Harry Potter, lesser to Lord of the Rings, and then Ramayana and others. But what I'm trying to ask is, were we going back to, oh, this is reminding me of this always, or were y'all like, okay,
No,
this is a independent story on its own?
it
And
is related to Harry Potter. I mean, there are references from Harry Potter, but I was not going back to Harry Potter because of that. Not such great writing. Okay, to say. Very
He
descriptive because of that also maybe.
So he has taken like inspiration. Maybe his characters are based on characters from those novels, but he has created his own world. I think. I mean, Cole and Avranti and all of those places. No, so he has definitely like created his own world. But there's a lot of inspiration, and I think he has like used it well. I mean, I wouldn't complain that he has taken inspiration from all of those other novels. I think he has done it well. So
The world
I
building
really
was
like that.
entire is creativity, I will still say.
And especially that Silver Dagger, that character didn't really remind me of anything else.
It resonate also. I thought it was okay in some places, but otherwise it was an extra character. They didn't justify that character well. It was an important character, but not given that much justice.
yeah. So, who, according to you, which of the characters really, really stood out for you throughout the book?
For me, it was Kirin.
Okay, we'll. I have a follow up question, but let everybody answer.
I'm thinking and I really like the Silver Dagger character, if you ask me, because I found it different. Like I like all the whatever fantasy books I've read, I haven't come across a character like that. Either like normally they're very openly heroes, and even if they are like helping the main character or their sidekicks, but it's they're always in focus. But this character is like, working behind the scenes, and so I really liked that.
Yeah.
Any character that stayed with you, Tari?
I think I, I can choose between Kirin and Asvin, because I think when I was reading it, Asvin was the hero, but in the end he's not. So yeah, well, maybe Kirin, I'd say.
So, okay, in the where the story actually picks, Kiran actually has to make a decision and leave his friends, and based on something that he has found, he follows that decision. According to you, number one, did he choose correctly? And number two, if he chose the opposite, what do you think the outcome would have been? Or, I mean, what would you imagine it to be like?
Yeah, so I did not think he made the correct choice, because we get to know it later on. That second thing is, if he would have not chosen to go over there and realize that his father is dying, then he might have been in Ashwin's position, right? Like what Ashwin is right now, he would have been in that position, and then there would have been a war between Tanjin and him. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that him making that decision makes the book, because if he had not read the books, then he would not have helped to assemble the things that were going to bring Dan Game back. And they were preparing Asvin for Dan Game's coming back. So he helped him to come back, of which maybe if he
Yes.
hadn't made that decision, maybe he wouldn't have come back.
And then there would have been no more. Two more books.
Yeah, they would have trained that other guy, but for nothing probably, or for less, or something.
Yeah.
Actually, this is also, this reminded me of Harry Potter again, because a book which speaks, it has its own mind, and we know that, Ginny trusted that book, and it did not turn out well. So that was wrong from the get-go.
Definitely on the first part of Harry Potter, because he is under the impression that the Professor Quirrell is my friend. But then he realizes that Voldemort is residing under Professor Quirrell. And that is when he gets to know that he was wrong in deciding to trust that professor.
Quirrell, yeah.
And that's the first rule, right? You should not trust objects that have their own minds. And he didn't even know his father, right? So he shouldn't have actually trusted what that book was saying. I mean, you get to find a random book and it's telling you that it's your father, and then you trust it. I think that from the get-go, it was. I was like, this is going to end in disaster.
For me, I was like, okay, what are you doing? And then I sort of understood. I first thought that maybe he will turn into a villain because of the book. I didn't expect that to be the end. I'm not saying it out loud because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who watches and then decides to read on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about, the twist. But yeah, I honestly thought he would turn into a villain, but I don't know. I think I agree with y'all. It was a very wrong decision, because when I read
I still think he might turn into a villain, He's still on the edge.
Yeah, now he is.
Now he is, yeah.
Any theories you guys have? Like, I remember when Soumya and I read Fourth Wing. I think there is our Fourth Wing banter is also there somewhere on YouTube. But we went into this whole rabbit hole of theories, and we were like, okay, now maybe this, maybe that. Now that I don't know if we'll read the second book or no, we'll see. But are there any theories in your mind with this book?
Yeah, one impossible theory is that Danjam will, improve, become a good person because of Kirin, and then they will bring all the kingdoms together like Game of Thrones, and there will be 7 kingdoms, and then they'll rule nicely. That is one impossible theory, but it is a theory. Kirin might improve Danjam. So only Game of Thrones was remaining, no? So I got it that also into picture.
I was actually thinking, because Ashwin is shown as the hero, maybe they're leading it in a way that he does not succeed, and ultimately Maya takes over, and Maya and Kiran have like a
Quite possible.
battle off.
Quite
later on.
possible. Yeah, so then that would, resonate with the Simoqin prophecies, because Simoqin had also died, and then his partner had, fought against Danjam, Kirin's mother. So it would be a repetition of the history.
That sounds more probable.
Yeah, my theory is very impossible. I mean, I just wanted to
Just you never know.
I want to talk about Maya as a character. I feel like he has done a brilliant job putting her on paper. Like this, I think he wrote this in 2004, and this is such. I don't know. I feel like he was so. The ideas of feminism are very, very strong in this book, especially considering
Agreed.
how Maya
Agreed.
thinks throughout. And I just love that, and I really hope Maya becomes like a even more stronger character in the series.
Yeah,
But what were
actually, she
your
came out as a
thoughts?
strong character inside the pyramid,
Yeah.
because it was her leading all the way. She only brought everybody together, and she made sure everyone came back alive in that pyramid. I like the pyramid part of the book also. It was very interesting.
I think all the female characters are quite good. I mean, he has.
Even the Avranti
Because it's not that they are.
Sorry?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember the name though. Just something. Starting with.
They kept saying what
Civilian.
Civilian.
Yeah. What is the name? Even I forgot.
It's
The civilian.
Eastern, right? Or civilian?
No, I think she has a name.
They kept calling her civilian. What was her name?
Not sure, but something with C. She is also shown as a very strong character.
There were so many parts that I really liked, but I was reading it so fast later on that I didn't mark anything. Now I feel like I'll have to like quickly brush and sit and mark again. There was one beautiful line that I think Maya says about men, and I was like, wow, this is nice.
That is shown as very strong.
I will have to go back and read it again. I don't remember.
Yeah, but no, that is something that really stayed with me.
But I think now it's a trilogy, no? So in the second and third part, I don't think he'll waste a lot of time in world building because the world has already been built. So I think those two books will be better than this, less descriptive than this. Let's hope.
So according to whatever I've seen on the internet, they say that this was like the first Indian fantasy novel that was ever introduced in the country. So how do you think that has changed fantasy writing, especially in India? Have you all of course we spoke about Amish, but that is still very close to mythology. That is, and I think even Krishna Ki is more mythology than pure fantasy.
Yeah,
If we go to see,
it's mythology plus thriller. It's like Dan Brown.
yeah.
So it's not exactly fantasy.
So, how do you think that this book really changed the way we think about fantasy now?
There are a lot of less Indian authors who write fantasy as a genre. So I think in that way he has done a good job because there are less books anyways. So and he has done apart from the time taken for world building, the concepts were brilliant and the creativity was hats off. So I like it basically. Other than the world building part, I actually like the book. So I think I might read the second and third part when I get to it. I'm giving one more chance to the book.
Yeah, I think I agree with Aditi because I really liked all the characters. I liked the world he has built, and the concept is also great. So, and the names, I loved the names. They were confusing, but really, it's something different. I haven't read something like this before, so I think I'll also give it a try.
Yeah. Not
But
anytime soon,
has
though.
there? Sorry, you were saying something. I couldn't hear you.
I was saying that I would also like to give this a try because now that it ended so abruptly, I want to know what actually happens.
Yeah, even I want to know what happens.
So just for that sake, I might just pick up the second and the
Yeah.
third book and
And I don't
complete.
think those two books will be more descriptive now
Yeah.
that the world has already been built. It actually had all elements in nature, fire, snow, lightning, thunder, rain, earthquake, everything was there. So that was also very nice, very scenic.
Yeah, now that you say, it struck me.
Yeah, they went into those caves, snow caves also. No?
I really liked it. I don't know what could be the reason. Okay, we agree that it's not a great book, but it's a really good book. Like for some for days, like you don't want to read anything heavy and you just want to sit with a story and see how it goes. This is a really good book. What?
Yeah, and you can always skim the parts you don't want to read. No, the descriptive parts you can skim it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can go ahead and go to the parts you actually enjoy reading. So that you can always do.
Yeah, but why do you think that these, like, I had never even heard about this book, and this book came,
Not even me. I also have never
and
read.
it was published like 20 years back. What do you think is the reason behind us missing out on these books and these authors? Why are they not
I
coming
think
up
that
more
time
often?
social media was not booming that much. So the representation of that book or even marketing strategy of that book, may not have been taken place that better. Now Indian writers are getting recognized on Instagram and also people actually go and Google about books because there is a lot of resources available to research about books. But I don't think that time internet was booming that much, or even if internet was booming that much, social media was not booming that much. So unless you put out the book over there, it is not going to be celebrated or even read or even talked about. So maybe their marketing strategy failed, or it was not even available in libraries. I mean, I have been a member of a physical library also, so it was not available.
But see, it's published by Penguin, so
So is it? But I have never seen that book in any of the libraries I've ever been to. Not even British Council Library has it.
no.
I think it is not there.
And it's sad kind of that all of us
It's very
that time.
given the part he has written it that time, okay. So it is futuristic like that because the concept
Yeah.
and the fantasy resonate today also. So it is not something outdated, even if it is written at that time.
No.
So I like
It is
his
quite good.
writing. So now that you are telling me that it is so old, so I did not know that it was published way many years before.
Yeah, it's quite an old publication.
2004, yeah, the copyright
Yeah.
2004. I was also quite surprised that I had never heard of it because, I mean, if I can hear about Harry Potter, then I should have. Harry Potter came out much before that, right? But we all heard about it, and I don't know why we didn't hear about this one.
Into a movie, and there were a lot of copies also, and they were published nicely and marketed nicely, and they
Yeah.
were available everywhere. So
Everywhere.
maybe that strategy went wrong.
I
or
think
something.
marketing is a big factor.
We don't have too much of powerful creatures like the stories of Ravians and things. So I think I was just wondering, like, are these like the stories of traditions that you have, as in like maybe you would have a picture of a Ravian in your mind or something?
Yeah, I would like to answer your question. Actually, the concept of Ravians is not actually, the name has been just, inspired. There is the race in India which is known as Aryans. So from Aryan, they are the ones who used to worship the sun. And sun is called as Ravi in Hindi. So that is why they have kept the
Vaman it was an avatar of Lord Vishnu. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's Vaman.
He's a god that we worship in the Hindu mythology. So it is one of the forms that he had taken on earth to destroy evil.
Okay. So I think that helps a lot because I was trying to differentiate between all of it being made up or some of it being made up.
It is all made up like that, but they have taken references from our language, our culture, our deities and gods.
Yes, I see. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you so much for reading this. And the part that I did record after this didn't get saved somehow. And I'm so bummed about it because we actually went on to then rate the book. And we also realized that this book actually was published very parallel to the Harry Potter series. And yet somehow we did not hear about it. And yet it is so unique in its writing. And we all unanimously rated it 3.5 stars, which is amazing. So that was actually the end of the discussion, and then we also took a picture together, which also didn't get saved. I don't know what mistake I made, but yes, that happened. So I apologize to the members as well. Some weird technical issues that happened this time, but we hope to rectify them in the next one, so that you get a seamless video and you don't have to listen to me give disclaimers in the beginning and in the end. Make sure you subscribe, and if you want to join our book club, the link is in the description. Thank you for watching the entire video. See you around.